Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to review the new niche Crux. This board is available in 4 sizes, 150, 153, 156, and 159. This board features Niche's Camber Dominant Hybrid, which is a Camber 2.0. Instead of that standard arc through the middle, it's more flat, but it still kicks down at the contact points. Basically, what you get is all the great characteristics of traditional camber without having to load it as aggressively from the middle. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was windy, overcast, sometimes there was heavy wet snow falling, sometimes there was nothing falling. The groomers were perfect or frozen or chundery, and I rode it with my K2 Thraxis boots and my K2 Indy bindings. The overall flex of this board comes in just below middle of the road, making it a little bit more playful. You have an awesome sweet spot in the tip and the tail, then it stiffens up underfoot, then it gets softer between the feet, and there's a lot of torsional flex. This board is not damp. You will feel everything in it. Micro vibrations, rutted out terrain, it doesn't matter. Everything that's going into this board, you're going to feel it, so keep those knees bent and just be prepared to push into anything and try to ride it out. To engage the snap on this board takes minimal effort. This board loads up super well, but there's a lot of rebound and pop out of it. You want to send a side hit, go for it. You want to launch a cat track gap, go for it. You want to ollie that fat skier kid, go for it. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to aggressively load this board, but when you do, you get a ton of pop. And even when you don't aggressively load it, you get a ton of pop. When it comes to jumps, all this board does is magnify what the lip is doing for you. So it will pop you twice as hard, it'll pop you twice as fast. That's basically it. This board is great at jumping. I'd keep it to like 45-foot jumps and under. That's just kind of how I feel with this board, that it doesn't have the characteristics to take it to the bigger stuff, but that's why they have the Wraith. There's an immense sweet spot in the tip and the tail, so you can really lock this into presses, butters, just swivel and sizzle, really get your weight out over it. The board will have some rebound, but it's not going to fight you. It's really easy to engage. You want to get sideways on a rail. That camber between the feet locks in perfectly well. It hugs it. It's not aggressive. This board is solid for jibbing and buttering. For being a park board, it actually carves really well. If you want to load it up and push into the center of the board to drive that carve, you can, and it'll rebound out the tail and slingshot you out. If you want to be a little more laid back, kind of skid the turn, just do a little setup going into a feature, don't worry about it. This board's got you covered. This board does what you need it to do, and it does it well, especially when you get it on edge. I will say though, due to the fact that there's no dampening in it, if you're on edge and just trying to charge through a chunder field, just be prepared that the board's gonna just be a little wobbly as shit. You might get kicked out. That's one of the things you gotta be prepared for with this. So who is this board for? It's definitely for a park guy that'll venture outside the park and ride around the mountain looking for things to jib and bonk, or someone that's on a smaller resort, maybe a rope tow hill or something on the East Coast with not a lot of vertical, and I'll ride it around the mountain. I really enjoyed this board. It's easy to engage the snap on this board. It's easy to press. It's easy to butter. You can get it on edge and carve with it when you need to, but it's not the dampest. And that's the one thing that's kind of the downside with it. You will feel everything into your legs. Your knees will be bothering you at the end of the day if you're riding hard. Comparable boards: the Arbor Relapse, the Rome Buckshot, the Yes Jackpot. This has been my review of the Crux. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we've got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you'd really like to support us and you want to see us build out our snowboard content and our snowboard network, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. Yeah, there's a paywall, but we've got perks over there, and you do get content a little bit early. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.